Hey guys, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony, and today I wanted to share some swatches of a vegan eyeshadow bundle from Makeup Geek. So when I first started shopping at Makeup Geek, I knew that they had bundles of shadows, but I only ever bought the single ones. And maybe like a month or so ago, I saw that they had a vegan bundle, and at the time it was on sale, so I picked it up. It contained some shades that I already own and love, and then some others that I was just curious about. And I think a lot of people are curious about this bundle, but it's such a big range of colors that if you're someone that isn't willing to try new things, I could see it being difficult to want to spend the money on, especially if you haven't seen what the shades are like. So what I wanted to do today was swatch the colors, and I have used them before, and so I kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the palette as a whole, or on the set as a whole. And I'll do that at the very end. So I'm going to swatch each shade one by one. The shade is called Shimma Shimma, and I have this one, and it's a gorgeous highlight that I use pretty often. I really, really like it. It's just very soft and very pretty. I think it is gorgeous as a lid color, as a highlight color, and you could even use it to highlight your face if you wanted as well. This next shade is called Moon Dust, and this is kind of a taupey gray shade. So that is Moon Dust. You can see it does have some shimmer to it, but it's not like the foiled shadows. It's just a little sparklier. I think this is a really pretty lid shade as well. This shade is called Bedrock, and it is a matte shadow. And Bedrock is another taupey gray, but it's much darker and a little more cool toned than Moon Dust. This shade is called Barcelona Beach, and it is another matte shadow. It's more of a cool toned brown, and it is a really great shadow for in your crease or all over your lid as well. This next shade is Latte, and this is one of my personal favorites. I use this shadow pretty much every day. I just think it's such a gorgeous crease color. It's great for adding a little more depth to your eyes. It's just very, very pretty. And it's not too dark. I also feel like it is a warm toned brown, and I really like those shades on me personally. This shade is Mesmerized, and it is one of their foiled shadows. And this one is a cool purple tone. I did find that even though this is a foiled shadow, it's not as shimmery and glittery as some other foiled shadows that I have tried, but it definitely packs a punch. And if you used a setting spray with this, it would be a lot more shimmery. This shade is called Time Travel, and it's kind of a peacock teal color. It's a little more on the blue side. It's a very pretty mix of blue-green though. I did feel that this shade is a little bit patchy. It doesn't really blend as smooth as most Makeup Geek shades do. And I think the color in the pan is gorgeous, but I do feel that on my skin tone at least, it loses some of that depth. This shade is Houdini, and it is another foiled shadow, and this is a foiled teal. I think it's absolutely gorgeous in the pan. I think this is just such a pretty color, and I love that the color swatched is very, very similar to the color in the pan. I find that the Makeup Geek foiled shadows are often that way, and it just makes it so easy when you're shopping for them. This shade is Enchanted Forest, and this is a dark matte green. I was really intrigued by this one just because I think it is such a unique shade. I was just curious what it would look like on me, especially since I have green eyes. I do feel that this shade is kind of similar to Time Travel, where it's very gorgeous in the pan, but something about it just doesn't translate well on my skin tone, and it loses a lot of the color that seems to be there in the pan. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I feel like on my skin it looks more like an ashy dark gray than a dark green. So those are the 9 shades from the Makeup Geek Vegan Bundle. This is sold as a collection, so you get all 9 pans shipped together. It doesn't come with the Z palette. It's definitely worth ordering a Z palette for. I have mixed feelings about this palette, to be just totally honest with you guys. There's some shades in it that I love and think are really pretty, and then there's some that they just look terrible on me. There's a reason that you guys haven't seen me use most of these in Get Ready With Me videos or seen them on camera. And I've tried several different looks with them, and each time just most of the colors just don't work with my skin tone. I like that this set has a mix of warm and cool tones. I think that is its greatest asset and its biggest downfall. So depending on your skin tone, you could buy this set and it's either going to be amazing. I think if you have neutral skin tones, it's going to be really pretty on you. Everything's going to work. But if you have cool or warm tones, it might be a little more difficult. And I think for me, part of it is difficult because I have warm tones, I have golden tones, and I have green eyes. So I think all those together, something about the combination, just most of these shades don't work that well for me. A lot of them are just too cool toned, and whatever it is, I mean, you guys saw in the swatches, some of them just, they look so different on my skin than in the pan, and I find that very unusual for Makeup Geek shadows. So I think if this was your first impression of Makeup Geek, try some other things. There's so many amazing shadows from them. This palette personally just is not my favorite, but I think that it is a great starter set, and I love that it incorporates different finishes. You have matte shades, you have foiled shades, you have shimmery shades, and so many different tones. So I think it really lets you try a variety of things to figure out what works on you. And then you can kind of use that as a guideline and go back to Makeup Geek and figure out what other shades might work with those. Again, I think this is a good starting set. It's a good starting point if you're trying to figure out what works for you. If you already know what tones work for you, you might not need this set and you might not want to spend the money. I do think too, if you're someone that does makeup for other people, this is going to be a great set to add to your kit because of the fact that it has so much going on in it. If you've tried this set, I'd love to hear what your thoughts were and what your favorite shades are. I know a lot of people use it and love it, so I'm really curious what you guys think. For more updates on cruelty-free vegan beauty and lifestyle, make sure you subscribe to logicalharmony.net. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Logical Harmony. Bye!